This evening, Minister Harmon shares his feelings on Jagdeo's immunity claim. Good news from the Ministry of Public Infrastructure. Slain activists' parents continue the fight for justice. LGBT activists accuse one magistrate of discrimination. In the region, in Trinidad and Tobago, drop in crime shows success of security efforts. And internationally, South Korean president's impeachment sparks protests. Also, in this week's beautiful Guyana, see the land of untamed adventure.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Raval Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel, as well as our website, safetvguyana.com. Join us. The government will not get involved in the soku investigations, but Minister of State Joseph Harmon said when it comes to opposition leader Barrett Jagdeo's cry of immunity, he needs to learn from what's happening to South Korean President Park Geun-hye. Park faces impeachment and a possible jail sentence for acts committed while in office. Andrew Weeks reports.
Barrett Jagdeo was arrested this week by ranks of the Guyana Police Force's Special Organized Crime Unit for questioning in relation to the luxurious seaside Spandam East Coast Emerald residential community known as Paddleville 2. But when the opposition leader was questioned by ranks, he resorted to the protection of the presidential immunity and declined. Cabinet Secretary and Minister of State Joseph Harmon was asked today what's government's position on the immunity matter, when further asked if they will be moved by the government to change the immunity clause, especially when it comes to acts committed by former presidents while in office. Harmon said,
The Constitution is very clear on certain issues as it relates to immunity of a sitting president who takes certain steps while he is in office. And so we respect that. I believe that this must be one of the matters which they will look at in the constitutional reform process. But certainly, even though there are immunities, there are certain exceptions, because you cannot commit an egregious type of act, which is something that an international court or anybody can deem to be as such, and still believe that nothing will happen. You saw the news this morning, I believe, in Korea, in South Korea, where the president herself, on a motion moved in the National Assembly, the court determined that there was enough grounds for that president to be impeached.
During the latter part of the week, several ex-ministers and former top government officials were accused of paying below market value in a conspiracy to commit fraud. That project was spearheaded by the former president administration under the leadership of Barrett Jagdeo. But when further asked by soku ranks, he resorted to the protection of presidential immunity again. Harmon clarified what the framers of the Constitution intent was when the Act of Immunity was put in place.
Anticipation, I believe, the expectation of the framers of our Constitution was that a president, once he leaves office, will basically have a more quiet, sedate life. But the situation, again, is totally different. There are people who have been in office as president and now in the National Assembly. So how could you claim those immunities while you are actively engaged in day-to-day politics?
Mr. Harmon laments that the government will allow the police force, who has trained officers, to do their job and not interfere in its work.
The government's stake is this, that is that the soku is an arm of the police and is a police investigation. And that I've said before that we will not interfere with the police investigation. Several, in fact, you would recognize in my press brief the number of training programs on which police officers are going. In fact, was the first 3 items of my press brief. And I want to say that since we came into office, that capacity building within the police force is something that has been on the front burner.
The minister also spoke of the support government has been getting from international partners through mutual assistance program.
Mutual assistance from friendly countries in relation to the training of our police force and the capacity building in the force itself. So you'll see from the British security sector reform program, there's a Colonel Coombe who is looking at doing a survey of our security needs. There's also the other gentleman who's doing some work with soku. That's part of the British assistance to Guyana in that regard. So we've had a lot of work, and there's a lot of work going into the training of our Guyana police force so that when they actually bring cases before the court, they will stick.
Andrew Weeks, Channel 2, Headline News.
Thanks, Andrew. By the end of the month, over 60% of 2017's infrastructure projects will have been started. This, according to Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson, who is proud of the progress going on in his ministry. Minister David Patterson said that the early passage of the national budget for 2017 was very beneficial for the Ministry of Public Infrastructure. It has allowed the ministry to get a start on early tendering for infrastructural projects. This early start means that a majority of this year's projects will commence before the end of the month.
So we do anticipate by the end of the first quarter, end 31st of March, about 60 to 70% of my projects would have already been tendered and the contracts awarded and work started.
Last year, Minister Patterson noted that many road projects were slowed down due to a limited amount of work crews. The work crew is responsible for works throughout the region, but there is only one asphalt machine. He added that with the purchase of new equipment, the ministry will have more capacity to commence those works.
We have bought several equipments, as I reported last year. They're now in the country, which is new pavers, bitumen distribution plants, trucks, excavators, and the idea is obviously to have another totally new road crew within the ministry. Like there's one that does all the work that you're seeing now. There's one that is over in Canal Polers right now, and when the equipment come and have a third one.
The crews will work from East Coast Demerara to Georgetown. In the 2017 national budget, the Ministry of Public Infrastructure was allocated $34.5 billion, from which $1.1 billion was provided for miscellaneous roads and $1 billion for urban roads and drainage in Regions 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10. On Friday, the parents of slain activist Courtney Crum Ewing picketed the Attorney General's office. They are disappointed that 2 years have passed and the coalition government seems to be dragging its feet in bringing those responsible for Crum Ewing's death to justice. Andrew Weeks was on the picket line and filed this report.
Donna and Eustace Harcourt went to the same spot their son picketed in 2015, days before he was assassinated, pleading with the government to reopen the case so that the family can get justice for their son.
It's disappointing. It's very much disappointing from the time that this thing happened. And to me, like, around town, everybody had known what took place and who is the perpetrators. And it's just strange that, you know, the police force that's go out and find some crime that they discover a man in a dump and they trace it till when they find the right people. What happened with this one? Because it's political? Because it's who the perpetrators be?
It has been over 8 months after a man was freed of the murder of political activist Courtney Crum Ewing due to insufficient evidence. Reagan Greyboy Rodriguez was set free by Magistrate Judy Latchman on September 14, 2016. Eustace Harcourt said the law must be fair, but in this case, something is not adding up.
If you for law and order can't just be for the ordinary poor man. You cannot stop crime if you only charge certain people. I would hope And I'm hoping that they clean out the court system that they have there. Because the man who acknowledged the gun is his own, who had the gun at the time of the murder, the magistrate allowed him to walk away. Based on the fact that she's saying that he ain't killed nobody. The man claimed the gun is his own. The man claimed he had the gun at the time. You understand? And there was no further investigation to interrogate this man properly.
There were other popular social activists on the picket line saying that the time has long gone. Justice needs to find its way now.
We need to get justice. You need to find the person who, and of course I out here to because the Chattrick Coolie Rats is still a Chattrick. He's still there being called honorable and getting paid taxpayer money. And the issue was Anil must go bury, slap and strip bury. We got a whole set of people now on both sides of the house who have contempt for women and children, and they're still there. And that was what Courtney Cromwell was about too, is that the horror at realizing that people can be, public officials can be blatant in their sexism. And
Justice, I don't have anything else to add. Justice for Courtney Cromwell. Because of him, that's part of the reason this government won the election and all of that, because people were horrified when that happened. We felt like we were at the end of the road, and it's a damn shame that nothing has been really done to find out who really killed him.
Now that the pressure is mounting for the government to speed up the case, will this grow into another mega protest like the parking meters? We'll have to wait and see. Eustace Harcourt pleads with the David Granger government and says,
I am hoping that the government in place could put together a proper investigating team and get down to the bottom of this murder. All the perpetrators are still here walking about. All of them are still here. You see them daily on the road. And it hurts. It hurts very much.
Andrew Weeks, Channel 2, Headline News.
Thanks, Andrew. Coming up on Headline News after the break, Hamilton Green's reaction to pension bill, and activists accuse city magistrate of discrimination.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
It's always fresh, tasty, enticing, and the best in town, served hot from our experienced chefs. Come and enjoy our daily meals with a wide and delicious menu to choose from. Also a wide variety of pastries and dessert. We can also host your luncheons, cocktails, parties, and formal gathering. For reservation, call 225-1730, 225-0038, and delivery 225-0195 or 225-0159. The new thriving Chinese restaurant, 32 Main Street, Georgetown.
Let's get it on! Total U Plus is introducing the bridal collection. We sell bridal gowns with over 150 styles to choose from, including bridal gowns for Muslim brides. We also sell bride and bridesmaid gloves, tiaras, petals, flower girl baskets, bridal pins, just married signs for vehicles, guest books and pens, aisle runners, veils, table placement holders, garters. Yes, the complete collection. Come see our bridal display in store. Total U Plus Bridal Collection, Fraggity's Mall, booth number 16. Let's get it on.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
It's next level time, Guyana. Let's get ready for Love and Sunshine Destination Wedding Conference and Expo coming on April 1st and 2nd, 2017 to Guyana, South America. Come enjoy the company of Joy Agnes, Destination Wedding Specialist, Mark Jennings, TV host and lifestyle expert, Jacqueline Johnson, Destination Wedding Expert, Jerry Gavaya, CEO, Roraima Group, Angie Zimmerman, Floral Expert, and Richard Markel, founder of AFWPI. Registration US $100 before March 15, thereafter US $150. Learn from the industry experts, see floral demonstrations, network at the cocktail, and benefit from educational sessions on wedding planning. Contact us for sponsorship at info@joyagnesevents.com. Love and Sunshine Destination Wedding Conference and Expo, a must for all wedding professionals. See you there.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
The Hamilton Green Pension Bill was passed in the National Assembly late Thursday evening. Andrew Weeks sat down with the former Prime Minister for his reaction to the bill. The former Prime Minister slammed the PPPC for making his 28-plus years of public service work personal.
You would have noticed by now that your bill was passed in Parliament.
I listened to the debate live last night.
How do you feel about that, knowing that this long-awaited matter has now been solved?
First of all, let me say that I'm grateful. Gratitude is a price which ought to be paid by every civilized person. Secondly, in the particular case of the pension for Hamilton Green, or former Prime Minister, you can link gratitude, which I've just expressed, to a sense of justice and decency. And it is not my want to comment on the absurdities I heard from certain members of the People's Progressive Party. But I think the people will judge. There was a bill presented in 2012 that specifically catered for former presidents and former prime ministers. The one bill, but for some reasons which they have not yet explained in or out of Parliament, why they excised the duties, benefits and pension of a former Prime Minister, and we dealt with the over-generous pension benefits for a former President. It is clear on the PP side they had no former Prime Minister, so they were not dealing with the principle. They had no sense of decency. They were dealing with personalities. Because the Prime Minister they had, Sam Hines, served as President for 6 months. And at the moment, as I understand it, is benefiting from the former President's bill. So it's an act of vulgarity that they should have the gall to get up in Parliament and oppose what should have been done 25 years ago. So it's a completely fallacious argument have been advanced by the PP for very selfish reasons, and yet they explain the lavish benefits given to their president, who incidentally has not served this nation half the time that Hamilton Green has.
Thanks, Andrew. The fight continues for members of the LGBT community in Guyana. Several persons gathered in front of the Georgetown Magistrates Court to protest a recent Court of Appeals decision. Guest reporter Whitney Wright will tell you why they accuse one magistrate of discrimination.
I mean, everyone deserves the same equal right treatment, and every citizen of Guyana deserves that justice.
Last week, the Court of Appeal ruled that cross-dressing is not illegal unless it's for an, quote, improper purpose, end quote. Unfortunately, the definition of improper purpose is up to the interpretation of the courts. Enter Petronella Trotman. Petronella Trotman is a transgender woman who was assaulted by an acquaintance. City Magistrate Delon Best has dismissed Trotman's case 2 times before telling her to dress like a man.
It's within the jurisdiction of the courtroom, individual cases, and in his courtroom, Petronella, it was an improper purpose in order for him to, what should I say, distract his court. That's what he said. So, and he put her out. So although improper purpose would be for any criminal jurisdiction, any criminal matter, this was not defined so. What she did was just an expression of her rights. This was not an improper purpose.
Members of the Society Against Sexual Orientation Discrimination, or SASOD, had led protests in the past in support of Petronella and other members of the LGBT community. The small group of individuals who did brave the rain to voice their concern today has pledged to continue fighting until the cross-dressing law is overturned. Whitney Wright, reporting for Channel 2 Headline News.
Thanks, Whitney. Still ahead, our regional news, international news, and beautiful Guyana.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook, Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
It's next level time, Guyana. Let's get ready for Love and Sunshine Destination Wedding Conference and Expo coming on April 1st and 2nd, 2017 to Guyana, South America. Come enjoy the company of Joy Agnes, Destination Wedding Specialist, Mark Jennings, TV host and lifestyle expert, Jacqueline Johnson, Destination Wedding Expert, Jerry Gavaya, CEO, Roraima Group, Angie Zimmerman, Floral Expert, and Richard Markel, founder of AFWPI. Registration US $100 before March 15, thereafter US $150. Learn from the industry experts, see floral demonstrations, network at the cocktail, and benefit from educational sessions on wedding planning. Contact us for sponsorship at info@joyagnesevents.com. Love and Sunshine Destination Wedding Conference and Expo, a must for all wedding professionals. See you there.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
It's always fresh, tasty, enticing, and the best in town, served hot from our experienced chefs. Come and enjoy our daily meals with a wide and delicious menu to choose from. Also a wide variety of pastries and dessert. We can also host your luncheons, cocktails, parties and formal gathering. For reservation, call 225-1730, 225-0038 and delivery 225-0195 or 225-0159. The New Thriving Chinese Restaurant, 32 Main Street, Georgetown.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
In news from the region now, in Trinidad and Tobago, the results of the Citizen Security Program can be seen in the reduction of murders in the Port of Spain Division, says Program Director Gregory Sina. C News reports.
After more than a decade, the Citizen Security Program can now boast of its part in reducing crime in this country. Program Director Gregory Sloan-Seal says the murder rate has been down considerably in the last 2 years.
We will definitely have to claim our share in terms of that reduction, because we know the level of mediations that has been taking place, particularly in terms of reprisal shootings and reprisal killings. Those have also been decreased quite a bit. Woundings and shootings in East Port of Spain and environs have gone down by 69%.
Mr. Sloan-Seal was speaking at a forum at the Hyatt Regency on Thursday that featured over 200 community activists from 16 communities. These activists participated in workshops and training initiatives in late 2016, hosted by the University of Trinidad and Tobago's Institute of Crime and Public Safety and facilitated by CSP. On Thursday, they brought forward their community safety plans, which they will implement in their communities. One community activist who participated in the session at Hyatt shared with the media how the program helped his neighborhood.
The CSP thing came in from inception. I was involved in development of CSP. I really didn't get into it as being an officer because of my dynamic of my job being a school teacher and community activist and social worker. But I have always been there because they have helped me to do camps that I really cannot finance and do that every year. They give me scholarships, they do teacher training.
The Citizen Security Program was formed by the Ministry of National Security in 2005. Ian Wason, C News.
And internationally, protests have broken out in South Korea after a court decided to uphold the impeachment of South Korean President Park Geun-hye. She is accused of allowing her confidant, Choi Soon-sil, to meddle in state affairs, including senior nominations.
Soon after the verdict was announced, supporters of the impeached president clashed with police near the courthouse in the capital, Seoul. Later, the police announced that 2 people had died. A hospital official said one was a 70-year-old man who had fallen off a police bus. Meanwhile, supporters of Park Geun-hye's impeachment were also near the courthouse, this time celebrating the decision. I shouted for joy when I watched the live broadcast of the ruling. I am so excited. Now the only thing left is the imprisonment of Park Geun-hye. Park was impeached after the country's constitutional court upheld a parliamentary vote on the matter because of a corruption scandal that could see her face criminal charges. Allegedly, Park was in collusion with a now jailed confidant, Choi Soon-sil, to pressure companies to donate money to foundations they controlled. Prime Minister Huang Kyo-an is the caretaker president until a new one is elected. That has to happen within the next 2 months.
And now for beautiful Guyana. Today on Beautiful Guyana, you will see why Guyana is called the land of untamed adventure. And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Friday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and safetvghana.com. You can also tune in Sunday morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast, and Monday evening at 7 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from your newscast. Thanks for welcoming us into your homes, and do have a blessed weekend.